Good morning, students. Welcome to the lecture on electrical machine 2. And today's topic is basic constructions of DC machine. DC machines find its application in various forms, ranging from small toys to a large scale production in automobile industries. Although during its invention, it was more popular as a high wattage industrial applications where it used to be run as a motor as well as a generator for generating electrical engine energy. But we have seen with the advancement in technology, most of the higher range in the range of kilowatt and megawatt, if it is generator, these DC machines are replaced completely by alternators. And in case of motors, they are completely been replaced by induction motor. So the small scale generators and motors find its application. It's still the applications are quite wide because most of the DC machines are now getting more popular in electric vehicles as well as small scale project level devices and also in toys industries. So definitely the learning of DC machine electrical engineers becomes very important for us. When we study any construction of a rotating machine, the most important thing that we learn about is how to classify the different components of any rotating machine. And one thing that we find very common is that any rotating machine can be divided into basic two parts. One part that remains static in nature, no component, no part in that region is rotating or dynamic in nature, whereas the other part, which is called rotor, it gets a support from the stator structure and run by the mechanism of ball bearings. The given structure is called stator. It consists of electromagnetic poles and the electromagnetic poles can further be divided into pole shoes and pole body and yoke. This is the structure which is responsible for the production of magnetic flux inside the machine. It is generally housed in a cylindrical cast iron structure, the detail of which we will see in the next slide. This part is called armature, which is part of a rotor structure. The parts which is available on the rotor side, if we start from the right section of this diagram, and it starts with a ball bearing, then there is an insulated segments of coppers, which is called commutator. Then we find a central part, which is called the armature. which contains the wounded wire, and these wounded wire takes a shape of a coil having a pattern, one of the patterns which is called lap winding or wave winding. This is a schematic diagram of a DC machine, and this contains all the parts of the stator as well as rotor. Starting from the stator structure, we will find first of all the yoke, then pole core, pole shoes, commutator, commutating winding, field winding consists of the shunt winding and series winding. The central region is called the armature. You can see number of conductors, and the central part is a shaft onto which the commutator as well as armature is supported on. Now let us see each of these parts one by one in detail. There are main 5 principal components: the magnetic frame, pole core, pole coils, fields, armature core containing armature winding, commutator containing brushes and bearings. The first is yoke. Yoke is a magnetic frame, the outer frame, which serves as a double purpose. It provides mechanical support for the poles and acts as a protecting cover for the whole machine. It carries the magnetic flux produced by the poles. In small generators, where cheapness rather than the weight is the main consideration, yokes are made of cast iron, but for large machines, usually cast steel or rolled steel is employed. This is a picture view of the yoke having some other components which is not in the definition, like feet. With the help of feet, we are able to install the machine on a solid body to make it vibration less. You can see also lift eye, which is used for shifting the machine when it is under commission. Terminal box for making the electrical connections and getting the supply end connected to these terminals when it is acting like a motor, and to get the electrical power output from the machine when it is acting like a generator. The next part is pole core, pole shoes. The field magnet consists of pole core and pole shoes. The pole shoes serves two purposes. They spread out the flux in the air gap, and also being of large cross section, reduce the reluctance of the magnetic path. They support the exciting coil or field coils. This is the picture view where you can see the pole shoes. You can see the laminated pole core. You can also see the winding. It may contain series or shunt winding. There are two main types of pole structures. The pole core itself may be a solid piece made of either cast iron or cast steel, but the pole shoes is laminated and is fastened to the pole face by means of countersunk screws. In modern design, the complete pole cores and pole shoes are built of thin laminations of annealed steel, which are riveted together under hydraulic pressure